we ran this fence along the back so that they could hide their babies, that they can come over here and chop all of this stuff down, eat it all down, and not just be confined to one area. So the fencing made it possible for us to allow them to forage all the way over here. So just a thin patch, looks like 20 feet along the back side, but that's plenty for them. Eventually, we are going to want to wrap it all the way around, but it takes time to do such an endeavor. So we have stopped it right here, right here. This is where we have stopped it. But eventually we will expand it. And so let me just make my way on back around here. Ooh, I hope I don't break anything going over that. Okay. So I think I am going to head on back. This is our peach, I'm sorry, not our peach, but pear tree area. We have 9 pear trees in a row right here. Of course, there are some pear trees back there with the rest of the orchard. This area right here, we're going to put some temporary fencing around this, the electric fencing that will allow the goats to come and eat this down so that we could get this back grassed in. The back part back there, we brought the fencing all the way from back there all the way across to over here to connect to this main area. This main area is where they and Harley, we did make a separation, giving them a yard back there that connects to the rest of that to separate them from Harley. So I guess, let me see, where am I going to head to now? Anyway, that area is kind of muddy right there. The grass hasn't been able to really grow in that spot too well since we had the well guy come out and dig a trench there to get us some water to the back field. And so driving through that area is very muddy, so I have to come back around this way. On the green roof greenhouse right there, we added 2 rain catchers on both sides. We made them out of cinder blocks. So whenever it rains, those 2 side things fill up with water so that we can keep things water in that area. And we did a lot of clearing in this area too. Sometimes the weeds would come in and get too close to our fruit trees here. We have apple trees and peach trees here. And so we just cut everything back a little and just put a layer of plastic and mulch down there. I don't know if you could see, but that peach tree it's amazing, but these 2 peach trees right here, we planted these at the same time, actually a little bit after the ones in the back. But these 2, there's something going on in these 2 spots right here. These things are like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 10 times the size of those back there. And look at, I don't know if you can tell, but it has a ton of peaches. This one has a ton of peaches. This one has a whole lot of peaches on it too, but this one has a ton of peaches. And even now, it seems like this year alone too, these things have grown so much. It's amazing. So, most high willing, of course, this fall we plan to, once the trees are hibernating, in the back, we may move some of them from one row and bring them and put them right alongside these peach trees here in this space here. But yes, that is the goal. I'm making my way over to our other food growing area, or should I say one of the other food growing areas. We got some landscape work going on too, so things are kind of pulled out a bit. The raised beds there is another one of our growing areas. Pardon any mess that you see. We again have been doing some rearranging to our landscaping. Now this is the area where our banana plants grow in. Now these weeds are growing up in faster than the banana plants, but that's okay. The banana plants will take over. And I just so happen to like the way those look. And the thistle, we weren't taking this down either because number one, it's beautiful. It's going to get some really pretty flowers on top. But then also they have medicinal uses, so we are going to dehydrate them in the dehydrating greenhouse when it's time to harvest them. So there is a lot going on. We got potatoes growing over there. I don't know if you can see over there with the tall raised beds. That first bed has potatoes that are getting... Now, okay, all right. This is one of our grapevines right here. It's coming in. And so there's some more potatoes right there. I have potatoes growing everywhere. I decided to put them in grow bags and bins and boxes. So we have potatoes growing everywhere, and the rain is telling me, Deborah, it is time to go inside. So here's our other raised bed area here in the fire range. I feel like my nose is starting to get stuffy just from being out here in this cooler air. Okay. Now in this area, we have some smaller ginkgo biloba trees that we are growing inside of pots. And we have some nasturtium, which are edible flowers. We have some chocolate mint, which of course is edible. Yes. You can see it better. Then we planted some radish over here in certain areas too. Radish grows so fast that you can just plant it and get a harvest every 28 days or so. This is our herb garden area. Okay, things are starting to come in too. Of course, I put some radish over here too in certain containers. And I did put some Malabar spinach in some of the containers. I also put some summer squash in some of the containers as well. The various herbs grow here, and I'm loving the way the arbor is looking. It is completely covered now by vines. We didn't plant those vines, but we love the way they look up there, so we haven't bothered to take them down. There's some honeysuckle growing on the arbor as well. We have some lavender growing in a pot. We have some mullein growing. The sage plant over there is looking very beautiful. There is going to be some... Now this isn't edible. Everything in this garden isn't edible. Of course, we have some shrubbery to create borders. and some ornamental plants. We have some hostas growing, in which many of those are. And then we have some castor beans that we just like the way they look, so they're going to be growing in the area too. This rain is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Then we have the purple perilla that's going to be growing there. I love the way my peonies are looking, the pink peonies, but the rain is flopping them over, of course. Now, some of you all may remember that tree right there. It was cut down, but we kept the stump. But that tree decided it wanted to live. It says, look, I know y'all wanted me down. Y'all wanted to cut me down, but I want to rise back up. I know there's a message somewhere in that. So there's the tree that was cut down. But as you see, those shoots decided we are coming back and we are going to stay. And so there they are. Some of the weaker shoots did just fall off on their own, but this one has been holding constant, and so we decided to just let it do what it's doing. All right. More hostas back here. Yellow dock always takes over this area, and so there's a huge patch of it there, and other things as well. It's one of our ornamental grasses that we grew from seed. We decided to use the bird bath there